Welcome to our show. I'm talking to internationally well-known photojournalist from Bangladesh, Shahidul Alam. Welcome to our show.
Good to be here.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fighting fit.
Since you have been released from your detention, is this the first time you're visiting United States?
Yes, it is.
And how is it going so far?
It's been very hectic. I was in New York where I received the Infinity Award. I gave a talk at the ICP Museum. I had programs with the New York Times and Time Magazine. Then I was in San Francisco for the Catchlight event where I was guest of honor and I gave a talk. Then I went to Mexico, meeting many of the people who campaigned for my release and also meeting with curators because they're planning an exhibition of mine. Oh, I did forget. I was also at the Rubin Museum because they're having a retrospective of my work in November. And now I'm here in DC with back-to-back programs, so it's pretty hectic.
You were arrested last year around August, beginning of August.
5th of August.
5th of August. And you gave an interview to Al Jazeera, and which became a bit controversial, and the government took some steps against you. What is the state of democracy in Bangladesh right now?
It doesn't exist, basically. No. Sure, if democracy is defined in terms of the values it portrays, that we haven't had for a long time because the political parties themselves are not democratic. They don't have internal democratic practice. We had elections in Dhaka University after 28 years, so that culture does not exist. But more significantly, part of the problem in Bangladesh was that the previous election in 2014 was one that the opposition did not participate in because they felt that you could not have a free and fair election under an existing incumbent government. That might have been debatable. Whether they should have participated or not is something that people still question. But the fact that this last event, which the government calls the election and everyone else calls a farce, was exactly that, a complete rigging, in a state validates the opposition's claim that we cannot have a fair and free election under currently an incumbent government in Bangladesh.
And what about freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and press freedom?
That has been suppressed at many levels again over a period of time, but it's come to a pretty much intense period now. My own incarceration was evidence of that, but also the fact that there is generally a culture of fear, the fact that much of the media has essentially made itself a spokespeople for the government, the fact that some of the most prominent speakers and critics are not invited to the talk shows, the fact that pretty much wherever you are, you have to be conscious of who's following in, what's tracking. The Section 57 and the Digital Security Act that have followed afterwards are evidence of how the government is trying to suppress things. But I think it's also relevant to remember what's happening recently. I mean, for instance, Al Jazeera was blocked a few days ago. I think it was Zuban, the other website. My own Facebook page has been blocked on and off, and this is continuing. Whenever someone says anything which does not toe the party line, somewhere or another, it's blocked.
What do you think of the trial that was done around 2013 and 14 for the collaborators of 1971 war? What do you think of that?
I think it was important that the trial took place. I think it is important that justice be done. I think it is also important that there be due process of law. And for me, one of the concerns is that when there were people who questioned whether in fact there was due process of law, they were subject to they were reprimanded and punished, and that is a scary situation for any legal system.
But isn't that also true that many people wanted that trial for a long time?
Yes, and certainly the trial should have been there. It's important that the trial continue. I don't think I have I certainly don't have any problems with the trial taking place. What I do have problems with is due process. And that's not just for that trial, that's for any trial that takes place in my country, because that undermines the legitimacy of the verdict. And I think it is important, for as important a case as that, that the public and the world at large know that the case was genuine, that the due process was there, and that the accused had faced justice.
The picture that we are getting from you about Bangladesh is quite gloomy. How optimistic are you about the future?
I remain optimistic, because while there is a repressive regime, the average Bangladeshi person still loves democracy, is freedom loving, and the students in particular, but so many other people at a grassroots level, there is great resolve, great resilience, and these are people who have not sold out.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations on getting the Infinity Award.
Well, be with us. Hopefully there'll be more.
Thank you very much.